Hey guys, I'm CG Smoothie, and today I'm going to show you an intro to the Blender physics system, Dynamic Paint. I'll show you a quick little intro to how to make Dynamic Paint, and then a couple examples of what you can do with it. And if you like any of the things you see that aren't in this tutorial, I will then also do tutorials if you leave it in the comments and let me know. So here, let's delete the default cube, make a plane, and let's add a dynamic paint modifier in the physics tab, add a canvas, we have a paint here. Now let's scale this up in edit mode. S to scale 3 is good. Let's subdivide it a bunch. That looks good enough subdivision, because you want subdividing because we use vertexes to color our thing. So here, let's get a sphere for our brush. Let's add a dynamic paint modifier, canvas. Instead of canvas, we're gonna add brush, paint. I would either do mesh volume or proximity. I'm gonna do proximity just because we're using a sphere and that's easy. Let's scale this in a bit. Okay, now that we have this, if we animate the sphere, I'm just going to turn on auto keyframes and go here, and then like 20 frames later, go here. Also, I'm going to parent this to the plane. Now you can see it goes whoop, 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 and just one more here. So whoop, 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 whoop. Now, if you want to see this, you can turn on vertex colors here. And in the canvas modifiers, go to output and press plus here and here to see the paint map and wet map. I'm just going to make it so you can visualize the paint map. So here you see that. Let's actually turn down the proximity to make it fit the sphere better. 0.1 or 0.075 should work good. Look at that. Now you'll see there's a little bit of jittering here. We can fix that by going into the canvas and adding substeps. I think 3 will do it. Now you can see there's no jittering. We also might want to turn on anti-aliasing. And if you don't like how there's all these pixelies, you can go into edit mode and add more subdivisions. Now that should be almost perfect. Yeah, that's good. I think still we could move this to 0.5. Maybe even 0.25. Yeah, that's probably good. But we could add more substeps because it is still jittery. A little more. Yeah, that's perfect. Now we can test with the effects here. I like using drip and then rotating the plane that it's parented to up a little bit on the X. So let's try that here. Now you can see it drips a bit. We can also have it shrink, which makes it spread a little less. You can also turn on spread and turn off shrink, which will make it spread once it hits the canvas. Like, look, it's going in all directions. Dissolve makes it disappear after a bit, I believe. Let's turn that down to 5. Maybe it'll... Yeah, now you can see it dissolves. I don't like dissolve, so I'm going to turn that off. And now that I like it here, I'll bake it. Go into cache and do bake, unless it won't let me. It won't let me. I can still show you the rest of it without baking because it doesn't need baking right now, but it does help in the long run. So if you want a little image texture to show up from the paint, you can make 2 principled VSDFs. So just copy that with a Shift D, add a mix shader, and then in the FAC, we want to put attribute FAC in here, and here we want to go into our canvas settings and see what that output paint map goes to, DP underscore paint map. So if we turn this to blue, we should see it. Okay, so instead of that, we're just gonna do 2 colors as a mix RGB with the FAC of that. So mix RGB, color here, FAC here, boop. If we add a math node in between the attribute and the mix, if we do a multiply, there we go. Now we choose any color here or an image texture. I'll just do the CG Smoothie logo, and you can see, let me just fix this, turn it upside down, that it shows up when it's painted on. So that's an attribute with the paint map multiplied into a mix node with an image texture in the bottom color and a color in the top color, fed into a principled BSTF into a surface, and it makes a painting reveal there. So I'll show you it and some examples. Here I have a pencil drawing some lines on a paper. It's pretty easy. And if you want tutorials on these, just let me know in the comments. Here I have that CG Smoothie reveal on a wall with a custom brick texture I made. Now, some other things you can do with the dynamic paint is deform meshes. So here I just have a ball making a trail in a cube. And the last thing you can do with dynamic paint, other than weight painting, which I don't see much of a use for, but I'm sure there is a use, I'm pretty sure you can make it easy to animate like paper with it. But you can also do rain, which if you'll watch this here I have some puddles on some stones, and when there's a particle plane right here that emits particles into the puddles, and when they hit the puddle, it makes ripples around the puddle. So if you'll just watch. Oh, let me take off the plane so you can see it better. And it makes ripples. So that's pretty much it for dynamic paint. It can make your scenes look a lot more realistic. I think it works best for paint and puddles, but it can also do deformation, which is useful for like snow building up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for dynamic paint. I'm going to make this a series for every physics thing you can do in Blender physics system. So stay tuned for that, and with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Thanks for watching.